healthy bottled water, choose Mountaintop Natural Spring Water. It is the best for you. Available at ESA Trading Limited in 500 ml, 1.5 liter, and 5-liter bottles. Retail and wholesale prices start from $1.95. ESA Trading Limited, making a difference for you.
Boy, naughty boy. Well, I'll tell you, I want to translate this one there. This time, you can say he works hard for his money, huh? Many people are being duped. Unethical behavior in the issue in the industry, construction industry. Somebody spoke to me. I basically a preamble of this program. I spoke about the unethical behavior taking place in the construction industry, and immediately somebody texted me. A lady texted me and she said, "Man, when you work hard for your money, you think construction workers," I'm just paraphrasing it, huh? "They do what they want with your money. And sometimes can't account for even spending your money." Let's listen to somebody who's been personally affected by some of the unethical behavior taking place in the construction industry. Good afternoon to you, Carlton Lando. You're not here to talk about pharmaceutical stuff. No.
No, Matt. Apparently, it's my first time coming in on the radio to talk on something personal. I've never done that before, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do when you feel that you're being taken advantage
You've
of.
been duped.
Yes.
So what is your issue, Carlton?
So Matt, recently, last year, I did some sort of renovation work to my house, and that included an entire overall. I did some nice modernization work to it, which included the rebuilding uh, of cupboards. So I wanted to kind of modernize the cupboards and tear down the ones that I had, and do some new ones. So I had utilized a carpenter from the Marigot area who had done a king size bed for me. I was satisfactorily enough felt good about the final product relating to the bed, and then I asked him whether he was familiar in making the cupboards. I gave him an idea of the type of cupboard that I wanted, the style and everything, and he convinced me very well that he could definitely execute the cupboards. I asked him the cost. He told me it would cost me about $15,000. I said to
One
him,
five.
yeah, I said to him, generally, I did my research and that sounds reasonable enough. And so I said to him, okay, we can proceed. We'll do that. My wife and I gave him a deposit. I have my receipts. We gave him a deposit relating to that, $5,500. Give him a deposit, whereby, because we wanted, it was mahogany we were using to make the cupboards, so that would include hissos and the mahogany, the wood, and all of that, and starting off the work. But I recognized that the work, like every time I would call him, like practically 2 months after, um, the work was just totally delayed and delayed and delayed, and I really wanted that to be executed at a particular time. And one day I said to him, well, I really need that work done. So it might be a case where you may have to either, because you live in Sofa in Marigot and I'm living in Castaways Miro, that you may need to bring down some of the material, some of what you've done already, bring them down. And
So he said to you he has started?
yeah, he said he had started. But when he brought down the almost like the skeletal of what's supposed to have been the cupboard, I felt immediately, I'm not a carpenter, but kind of intuitively, I felt that, nah, this doesn't seem like what I'm looking for. This doesn't seem like this carpenter knows exactly what he's doing. So immediately I began to probe. I said, but what you seem to have done there doesn't seem to be what I'm looking for. Anyway, I said to him, in lieu of that, why don't you just come down? I have a downstairs. It was unoccupied at the time. I said to him, you can come, utilize my downstairs. You can sleep over, work with what you have, and at least use the downstairs to extradite the timing, because you and Marigot, I'm in Castaways, and then the back and forth. So you would have brought down everything. I gave him the access to that. Anyway, he came down, and then I recognized it was really you coming down to my house to do carpentry work. You don't have the essential tools that would allow you to do the work. So again, that didn't seem right. But then I had a builder who was also doing work for me, and immediately he called me and he said, "Nah, something doesn't seem right. That something is wrong." So I called him up and I said to him, in the presence of my wife, that based on the timing of execution and what you've done, I'm not satisfied with what I'm seeing. I'm not a carpenter, but my own wisdom is telling me that what you're doing, it's not what I want.
Doesn't make
and
sense.
It doesn't make sense. It's like wasting the material. So in light of that, I would prefer that you suspend all work and I get another carpenter. So he didn't argue. He listened to me and he said, okay, he accepts that he may not be doing it right. Then he's telling me that he's never done cupboards like that. And then he doesn't have the modern tools and so forth. So I had to get another carpenter who I had to pay another $15,000 to continue the work and practically start all over again. And this man now, I'm asking him for my deposit because I made a deposit to you and he doesn't have my deposit. So it would seem that he used the deposit for either personal gain, or I have been told that in that trade or in the quote unquote technical trade. A lot of people use people's money to pay off maybe an existing debt. Maybe they owe in another client, or they've done
Almost like a pyramid scheme.
that kind of a thing. And that's so since April, I have been expecting my deposit back, and I'm not getting it. And we are in August, getting into September. I've not gotten $1 back. I have called the individual. I've spoken to him in a very amicably manner, and it's like every time I do speak to him, it's almost like I should feel sorrier for him, and I shouldn't feel sorry for myself. So even if I had to now source another set of money to pay the new carpenter who delivered, by the way, he delivered, and he said to me that he will never do that again because of the type of wood. Mahogany is very strong and all of that, and you cannot manipulate it. When someone has begun working on it, you cannot go and just tear it down and put it back in the way you want because of the type of wood it is. So we end up having loss in terms of some of the material. I had to buy more material. The carpenter had to use a lot of innovative ways to be able to sort of reformulate what I wanted to give me that final product. And up to now, this carpenter has not been able to give me my deposit. And I do hope that he's listening.
Have you spoken to some friends or family members of his?
I don't know his family, so I have thought of going to Marigot to look for him because I have his name. He signed that I have given him. It's right here. He has signed that I have given him my deposits of 5, and I gave him that deposit on the 23rd of November 2023. That's when he received that deposit, and he signed.
You're expecting it to be delivered when?
So I said to him that practically we suspended any type of work with you in April. So I said to him, at least by June, I'm giving you up to June to give me my money. Up to now, I haven't gotten my money.
So what about the initial cost, Carlton? You did speak about the initial cost of the wood, though.
Well, he submitted what he had already purchased. I still had to buy more because it wasn't enough. Because as I told you, it seemed like he didn't understood what I wanted, and he just made some mess. So I end up incurring losses with the raw material and having to buy new mahogany wood to continue the job. So in a sense, it cost me almost twice as much for that project. And I have been told that this is a very, very, very,
very common
common situation. Many people are taken advantage of.
I have a friend, Carlton, as you said that. I have a friend there in New York who gave a lot of money for his house to be built. And that person actually took the money and built his own house.
Ooh. So that's illegal.
And that case is in court right now. He's trying to retrieve the money.
Yeah, so that I have been told so. It's either you will have an issue for plumber, an electrician, the painter, the builder, the carpenter. Somebody will find a way to want to take advantage of you. I am not Donald Trump. I work for a company. I do not have extra jobs doing. I work for one salary, and that one salary I have to do everything with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes people see you and assume that you have plenty money because of how you carry yourself or how you present yourself, but not recognize that you have to work. You have to work. Money doesn't just fall at people's lap like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the individual is hearing me, I need my money. I need my money. I do not want this to get ugly.
So you want what money, Carlton? And you have already
the deposit that I made to him. I need that money.
So what was the money he spent?
Well,
in terms of his
he gave me back some of the material. So I don't want to be. I have said, you know what? I will try my best to be as amicable as possible.
Mm-hmm.
All I just need from you is my deposit, and that's it. Yeah. I will. That's okay. Just give me my deposit, and that's it.
Let's see if we can take a few phone calls. I'm sure a lot of people ask. Somebody just telling me my mom went through the very same thing. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yes, morning, afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, my friend Carlton.
Good afternoon to you, my friend.
I am following two people from states in Jamaica that is going through the same problem. Left the house unfinished and all their money is in the hands of the person. So it's something, it seems, that is happening all around the world. And I'm sorry you have to go through something like that, Carlton. Not somebody like you. I'm listening.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, somebody's saying my mother's going through the same thing, and it happened to many people, especially people,
When you're not technically inclined, if
people
you're
are-
not technically inclined,
people
but
are gullible.
yeah,
They take
but
advantage of you.
But then at the end of the day, God give us intuition. You may come to me as a pharmacist and I begin to speak to you. And immediately you will find that doesn't make sense. That pharmacist doesn't seem to know what he's talking about. It's an intuition. It's something that God gave us. You may not have the fundamentals or the knowledge base, but something tells you. And that's what happened with me. Something told me that no, this carpenter doesn't seem to know what he's coming up with. He doesn't seem to have that experience with cupboards. And now I'm trying to get my money and I'm having all these issues.
Hello on the telephone. Yes. Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Carlton.
Good afternoon to you, teacher.
Your partner.
I know that.
I'm sorry to hear about that. But Carlton, I know you're not, Matt might not agree with me, but I know you, Carlton, very well, you're not an evil person. Let me tell you something, Carlton. It happens to certain people. They simply like you. When these guys do not do the job or they don't do it properly, the person money that they have, the person turn around and mess them up. Look at Croatia in Tatra, very mal. You understand?
Yeah.
But I know you are not in that.
No, I would never do that.
You're not that. But that is what happens. You see some people walking on the street, Carlton, and you're wondering, but is that not the children of heaven? You understand? That is what happens to them when they do those things. Because the person cannot get their money, they go to court, they do that kind of thing, they mess them up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Somebody's asking, did you give the man the full $15,000 or was it just a deposit?
Just a deposit.
Just a deposit.
So the deposit I gave him. And then once he begin producing work, we will start giving him a bit more money. But then he used my deposit.
Hello on the telephone, yes.
Matt,
Yes.
good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, Carlton. Good afternoon to your listeners.
Good afternoon to you.
Matt, I really feel Carlton pain because one has to work hard. And people tend to think when you're under mortgage, you go to the credit union or the bank and you take money to build it. People tend to think it's a springing session. It's sacrifice, The man is married, he has his children, he has a child or children. It's a sacrifice when you go to the credit union or the bank. And those people who are building for you, all they want to do is take out your cocos here because they feel you have money. They're not looking at it's a sacrifice. It's not a lotto Carlton won. He working hard. He went to the institution to borrow money to repair, to make his place modernized. But I am in the very same thing too. But I can only say, Wayne Joseph of Funkole, thank you very much. People who want quality services covered, just go to Funkole and ask for Wayne Joseph because everybody who comes to my place asks me, who build your cupboard for you? Is it imported? And I say no, because if he had done a bad job for me, I would talk about it. So I am saying thanks be to Wayne Joseph, and he was very reasonable. If you see what I have, Matthew, you will not believe. Thank you, Wayne Joseph. And Dominic, can do one beautiful cupboard, just go Funkole and ask for Wayne Joseph, and he will give you quality work.
All right, you're doing a big promo there for Wayne Joseph, boy. Hello, Wayne Joseph. Good afternoon to you. 134. You have the blessings of my friend Cope. Hello, talk to me. Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, yes, Carlton.
Good afternoon.
Matt, I sympathize with Carlton. But their issue there is a very antiquated issue, you understand? It goes both ways because there are builders who get ripped off by contractors, that people are contracting. Some people do diligence on certain people, like you have somebody to do a job for you. You have to go out and be certain that person can do the work. before you give them your money.
But remember, he said early that the same person was given a bed and he was very satisfied. Hence, the reason why he gave the young man to do the cupboard.
Matt, building a bed and building kitchen cupboards is two completely different.
No, Carlton knows that, but but you basically, if somebody sold you a good car, for example, and you have faith in them to do something to deliver, right? You understand?
Yeah, I understand that. Matt, I work in the construction industry.
Okay.
Understand? I do construction. I can do cupboards, but the doors is not something that I really take on, because to do a door of a kitchen cupboard, it requires a lot of tools. Then therefore, even if you build the frame, the structure, but then you have to go to a friend of yours who have all the machines to do the things. So the first thing you have to do is really take a close look at the person's workshop, where the person works, and then you will know if the person is prepared to do that. You know, some people give certain people jobs to do for them due to the price that they ask. But that is one of the biggest problems in Dominica. You ask somebody to do a project for you, and due to the price they give you, you give it to them. But sometimes, so then at the end of it, you get what you pay for. But in other words, the other time you do something, you have to be certain that the person you ask to do the project for you can handle it.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, on the telephone. He's saying that from what I gather, you need to do some due diligence before you engage any contractor there. Hello, yes?
Yes, Matt. It is a very, very wonderful thing. Carlton, good afternoon. This is Fabian here.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
I'm really sorry that you're going through that. In fact, I'm in the business. It's just that I'm in fiberglass, repairing boats. And most of the time, Carlton, next time you go through that situation, always ask for some references, okay?
Yes.
Good tradesmen always have pictures of what they have done before.
A catalog,
okay?
Yes. A catalog, yes.
Yes. Because I have my album in my phone. If any kind of job that I get and you want reference, I show you right my phone the before and after. So and again, most good carpenters or tradesmen, their reputation precedes them. You would hear about them, and they would come highly recommended from other clients, And the other thing, Carlton, take for example me, Matt. I always go to St. Thomas to work, okay? And I recently was in St. Thomas, I did a job, and it something happened where it wasn't my fault. And I had to end up, the customer complained, said, look, I had to end up buying my own ticket, going down there, buy my material, and take care of it. So a good tradesman always should have a surplus among the money somewhere where if something like that happens, he can always back up and take care of the customer. So, Carlton, in the future, look for references and do your due diligence and check out the person first, because, Dominica is a small place and it shouldn't be difficult to do. You understand what I'm saying? It shouldn't be difficult to do. I understand that you were happy with the bed and everything like that, and so that you took the chance and do what you have to do. But building cupboards and building beds, sometimes it's two different things, because cupboards, I've been around people that build cupboards and this kind of thing, and you have to be very skillful to do that. It's not a job that a normal carpenter does. You have to be a drying or some kind of thing. It's a specialty. So you make sure next time that the person, wherever you do your due diligence and you do all your inquiries, and then you go from there. All right, Carlton, sorry about that.
All right, thank you very much. Somebody says, my typical Dominican. My aunt and I paid someone to renovate my grandmother's house, paid in full, and work never completed. Someone else was paid to finish the job. My uncle paid someone to repair his home after Hurricane Maria in 2018. When they moved to Dominica 2 years ago, job incomplete. They had to pay a new person to complete the work. My cousin in Houston paid $20,000 for new cabinets, and up to now, no work ethics or professionalism, pure brokenness of volet. That's what the person is expressing. So, Carlton, it seems that something that's going on there.
I wanted to highlight it because it's not, as I said to you, I've been in radio for so many years, and I've never brought nothing personal on the air. But I felt
it's something that affects a lot of people.
It is really, really too common. And again, for maybe some of us who are not so into that career, the technical career, maybe again we really need to do our investigations better. But if you can do something where you've not had an experience, is nothing wrong in telling somebody, I've not had an experience in this, or I may not have the tool to do it. However, I can refer you to somebody else, another colleague of mine who is excellent at that. And that actually speaks well of your professionalism, rather than you say you can do it, and at the end of the day, you cannot do it, you don't have the tool to do it, or you cannot deliver on time. And that is the situation. So I do hope that the gentleman, I know he's from Marigot, he must be listening at this time. I do hope that he gets in touch with me, because I don't want to come up to Marigot and have to go to the police and all of that to embarrass you. So I do hope that you find a way to, you have my number, get in touch with me, get in touch with my wife.
And you have tried.
I mean, just last week I called him, and just last week I messaged him, and he never responded.
Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes, my brother, I have been listening, and Mr. Carlton, that's your boy calling you Mr. Jolly. I am very disappointed on whoever tried that on you, and I'm asking them to please meet you and negotiate something. Carlton, you know what happening? That's a scheme. The person that do that now, money going around, and they finding you like ice cream, you wouldn't talk about it, you would just be there. So they decide to do that to you. And for the callers that talking about you have to have this and machine and this kind of thing. I know a lot of young men that can build covered and build houses, read plan better than man that making houses. They never have no A and B and this as degree. You can check me in Virginia and I can show you 5 of them exactly. The only thing that really happened to Carlton there now is that because of Carlton niceness and the thought that when they do Carlton that it is still on the table. That's a target. That's something behind that Carlton. Now that you go to the radio station, you will hear a little later. Some may fear that you this and you that and you shouldn't do that, but that is the best thing I will do. And ladies and gentlemen, in closing, it has been happening to all of that staying and saying the fiberglass thing and all kind of things. People have been sending their money from England for people to build houses, Canada to build houses, and they're taking it and cut there and buy can, 600 people house and do that kind of thing and drink rum. So it's not now that happening. But Carlton in itself, Carlton is a very good guy, outspoken guy, and Carlton in closing, just be strong, that's a target, get the voice involved in that. Bye-bye.
All right, somebody says, this is not unique to Dominica. It's happening all over the region. Somebody points out there, even when you think you know a person, you must always treat it as as a business contract. In Dominica, the best thing one can do is for an individual to purchase the material themselves and pay the contractor once the job is completed. When you're overseas and sending money to get a job done, there's a lot of money risky if you get a shady contractor. Some people get ripped off by their own relatives. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes.
Good afternoon, Mark.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Carlton, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
I really do not know you, right? But I have this sense of feeling you will not come, after listening to you for a while, I have this sense of feeling that you will come on the radio for it to have a other side. But Matt and myself always believe there's the other side. But what I would encourage you is, I hear some people talking about you should have checked who will give the job. If you already do a little job for you, like let's say $800, it's marvelous. It encourages you to call into another one.
That's what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to me.
Right. So, but what I will encourage you, this man is a man, he has problems. If you have any other work to do, but you have asked him to call you. I listen to you, and I love that. You are a man of compassion. But let me speak to him now. So I do not know what you have to do now. Get to Carlton. If you cannot pay him, find out where to work for him. If there are work to do, other little work, and solve the problem. But you need to get back his money. Thank you, Matt.
All right, thank you very much. Somebody says, Matt, doesn't this Capitals have insurance to cover all those issues? It should be mandatory that we have insurance to protect both parties, the client and the firm. I don't think we have any insurance in Dominica doing this.
No, I don't think so. So even looking at my communication with him, I've been communicating with him since April. We've spoken, and every time I call him, he's like, the last time he told me that he had some shoulder injury, and that was only in April. He had some shoulder injury, and that's why he couldn't make any deposit or he couldn't pay me. And then I messaged him again. The last message I sent him was in July. July 22nd, and still nothing. And I sent him a message on Friday, Friday of last week. Good afternoon to you. I've realized that that you've been avoiding me. Absolutely no feedback from you. As you can see, nothing, no response. And that was last week Friday. I sent that, and you see my tone. No, I don't curse people. I don't use violence. I don't use my influence to go and do nothing stupid.
This is just about a warning.
Yeah,
not only to him, but to other contractors.
You understand?
Doing the same thing.
And here it is, still nothing, no answer, nothing at all.
Matt, you know my story. Anyways, I know someone who sent home money to build a house. When the person came to Dominica and saw the house, she asked the contractor to hold the keys because she could not believe this is the house that the man built for her. Some contractors are just not easy. 4493095. Somebody sent money to build a house and you can't even deliver. Hello, talk to me. Yes, I know that story. I told you that story. Yes. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What's up, Matt?
How are you doing, sir?
Cool, Carlton. I've been listening to the Jolly Show on your program occasionally, and I can sense from your voice you're a very humble young man. And for somebody to be doing that to you, that person is not only a criminal, but he ought to be needs to be punished. And I would advise you to send him a lawyer, Peter. You said you're going down to Marigot physically. I would not advise you to go by yourself, or you should go well equipped if you pay a police or two police to accompany you down there. I believe you should not go by yourself, and you have to do it as quick as possible because this guy can be a flight risk. He can travel abroad. You don't know what is his intention, so you have to do it as quick as possible because these people, I don't know for all of the other countries, but I am based in Guadeloupe, and whenever you give somebody to do a project for you, the person has to put 50% of the cost of the project on his own. And on the completion, if you're satisfied, you will pay him the difference. But in Dominica, it's like I have a relative of mine, they pêcher in blanc en bouche. And this is something that has been mentioned in all areas in Dominica. And I think people need to take that seriously to stop these guys, because money is not something that comes from the sky. You have to work hard. As you said, you have only one job, you have a family to maintain, and you're trying to do your thing. And I'm glad that you come to Matt to expose that person. It's a pity that I might not have the right to ask you questions. If you would permit me, I would like to know how you managed to get in touch with such a person, and who introduced you to him, and how, if the person who introduced you to him can be also a witness when you're going to Marigot, well equipped. As I told you earlier on, my advice is you should not go only by yourself. So once more, I wish you all success in achieving that and getting back your money, and that your project shall continue as you would like.
All right. I think all tradesmen, you see, all tradesmen is falling under the umbrella now. All tradesmen should be certified and have the certificate displayed at their place of business. You agree with that, Carlton?
I think that's a good way to start. I know that the Ministry of Education is doing some certification program right now, and so it would be a good plus. But it doesn't necessarily mean that because you have a certificate, that means that you have integrity. So
that's very true.
That is something,
and you might have earned the certificate through,
right. So that's it.
Strange means, huh? All right.
But I understand. I mean, a friend of mine is just giving me some little talk there. But some people may feel, well, okay, this medium may not be the best place to. But if you've really given somebody so many opportunities and so forth, I've not called the individual name. I've just only said from what community that they're from, and so even indirectly, I'm still protecting the person, and I know for a fact, not maybe just the carpenter who has completed the job, the contractor who worked on my house, and my wife and I. These are the only people that know who the individual is, unless the person said they had done work for me.
Okay.
So you understand? So
you're still protecting.
Yeah. So it's not a matter of I'm using the platform to directly embarrass or to hurt someone. But I really wanted to bring this to the fold because I recognize it's something that is very, very.
A lot of people are
yeah,
exposed. A lot
and
of
I
people are
wanted to kind of sensitize the public on that, particularly for those of us who may not have that skill, and particularly for people who may be building at this time, new homeowners.
Be
You might,
careful.
you want to be cautious. But I have to run now, Matt. But I appreciate the media, and again, as I said, all I want is just for this to be amicable and for me to be able to move on.
Let's take one phone call before you go, Carlton. Yes, hello, 449-3095. We do apologize we didn't get your call, but it's again, we have just 2 more minutes so Carlton can go on his merry way this afternoon. 449-3095. You can't believe it. A lot of people are calling in at this time. And the person wanted to ask, I think the person asked that question before. Might ask Carlton if he was the one who bought the wood for that cupboard. No, you didn't. You know how much that person paid?
Well, we have an idea because I said to him, because when we do the assessment, he and the carpenter who completed the job, they had conversations along with me, and the assessment would have been just about $2,000 was used. So in a sense, based on the amount of material that he had presented and to us, that was the amount so the material wasn't enough to do. That's why we had to buy more material. So in a sense, he would have to pay me at least $3,000 back in cash. Yeah, based on the assessment, and he agreed that this was about the amount of money that he had spent so far with the material, but the material was not enough to complete the project, so we had to buy more.
Well, Carlton, thanks again for coming and exposing, the unethical behavior that's taking place in construction. Not only carpentry, a lot of people are doing that in other.
Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I work hard for my money. I suspect we still have a few phone calls on this one. Hello, yes?
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, sir.
Matt, that's why people don't want to give Dominicans work, Matt. Matt, Carlton is too nice. The man already assessed Carlton is a nice fella. You hear Carlton calling the man a gentleman. Matt, the man is not a gentleman. The man is a sacrifice. But no, Matt, that happened to me. When I was building my house, Matt, I give a fella $3,000 deposit. And he took everything and he went to Antigua. Matt, I went right to Antigua behind the man for my money, Right to Antigua, and now he take off in New York now. Right? But the world is a small world. Matt, Dominicans, when they come and do a job at your home, Matt, they don't charge you based on the job. They watch the size of your house, they watch where you work in, and they're charging you according to that. That's why people don't want to give Dominicans work, Matt. They're giving Dominicans a bad name. That's what it is.
Okay, caller, thank you very much. Somebody's giving names, but please try to avoid names, huh? We don't want to get too personal. I know you may have been affected there, but I just don't want to expose anybody in that way. If you have problems, you can contact the police. Somebody's now telling me that, I gave somebody $11,000 for an unfinished work. I had to call his father. I don't know. It's because I live out of Dominica. Don't trust anybody, because then some people can be tricky. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yeah?
Yes, Matt.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for the call.
Okay.
Carlton, you're not the only one. My heart goes out for you. Matt, let me tell you something about these people or these contractors or these so-called builders or tradesmen in Dominica. They are dirty, dirty niggers. Sorry for my language, but that's what they are. Matt, the same thing happened to Carlton. Happened to me 3 times in Dominica. I get an attorney, and the attorney come to my home. I explain to him, he takes the information down. And you know what he tell me? It will cost me 3 times the amount of money that the person took from me in order for them to go to the case. Right? Matt, where you have that kind of money to pay the attorney 3 times of $10,000? Huh? So he told me the best thing he could advise me to do is take a baseball bat and go where that fella living and beat the hell out of him, you know? And this is where people taking justice into their own hands because you cannot get justice. Justice is money. If you have no money, you cannot get justice. You're just wasting your time. And that's what's going to start happening. You're going to meet them suckers die by the side of the road like flies because people tired. This map is going on over all the entire country. Electrical, plumbers, you know, just name it, carpenters, masonry, painters. They are dirty, dirty, dirty niggers, you know, and people are tired with that. And they're supposed to come up with something for these people to stop this nonsense they are doing because they're going to meet them dead. And listen, I want you to go over there and get a gun and put some bullets inside that guy, you know. I know I'm not talking violence, but that's what it's going to boil down to. They're going to make them die by the side of the road.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Exactly. So it's not, Carlton needs to get his money back because he gave him $5,000. The expense was about $2,000. So just give the man his money back. It's 156. Hello, talk to me, yeah?
Matt,
I'm here.
knowing Carlton and for him to come there, it means he had taken a lot of patience, Matt. Knowing a quiet young man like Carlton. And he did the right thing because number one, he didn't call the person name, he didn't expose the person, so the person know themselves. Try to pay the man back the rest of his money. Matt, that is bad. This is very, very bad. Thank you.
Thank you. It's 157 there. The telephones are still going there because people are very concerned about, what just went on there. Carlton may just be one person who's brave enough to speak about it and not even getting personal and calling the person's name, but identifying the community where this person is from. And I'm sure, if you're listening, I'm sure a lot of people there in the Marigot area may be listening. I'm sure you're listening. So please just, do what you have to do. Hello, yes?
Matt, Coco from Tibo.
Coco, how you doing?
Yeah, good. What about you and Dominic and everybody?
Okay for now.
Carlton still there with you?
No, he left, but you can tell your story.
Okay. Matt, I listened to Carlton. What did he give the man the deposit for? For labor and material or just for labor?
For labor and material, but he delivered part of the frame, kind of a frame for the work. He planned to pay him $15,000.
Yeah, but Matt, I something. I'm
a contractor.
I'm a contractor too. Yeah, right. And I want to be honest with you. All my job is word of mouth. But let me tell you, when I listened to Carlton, he said the man built a bed for him before.
Yes.
So anyway, if you sit down and you think of it, for $5,000, $5,500, if he gives that man the money, and the man purchases the material and so on, have to be.
But you I guess you didn't understand. He said when he did the cost on the material that he purchased, he only spent about $2,000.
Okay, yeah.
So he still balanced like $3,000 for him.
Yeah, but remember, the man still take time. What I blame in the contractor or whoever it is, if he did not know he could design especially the doors, then he should explain to Carlton and tell Carlton, I can build you the shell and get somebody or whatever it is. They should come to an agreement with that. That is the whole thing about it.
They should come to an agreement about what? Because Carlton after he delivered the shell, Carlton is telling himself, and he spoke to his builder, and his builder told him that this guy doesn't know what he's doing. So he dropped it right there. Are you understanding now?
Yes, I heard you. So what happened? So the shell was a problem too?
The shell was a problem. So that's why Carlton changed his contractor.
Okay, but remember, Carlton said he had diligent and he asked him to come by his house, Matt.
Yes, but in other words, he was saying like, okay, well, come build it in front of me so I can see what you're doing. But since he offered that, contract to him, he kind of never showed up because he realized he didn't have the tools to build the cupboard.
The guy never showed up and come to Carlton downstairs.
No, I don't think he showed up to Carlton's downstairs.
Oh, okay. All right.
Thank you very much. Dominicans are generally honest people, particularly with work. The construction trade is what required contracts, breakdown estimates, and to a timeline for the job to be completed. Clients of contractors in any trade should have always conduct business in that format. So you need to give a contract. Hello, talk to me, yes?
But
yes, sir.
People just have to be careful. Don't put your money in contractors' hands and don't put your money in builders' hands. You're going to build a house, you have a builder, let the builder tell you how much plywood, how much steel, how much post, how much cement you buy it, you pay a truck to bring it down for you. But to just have a builder or contractor tell you, if you 30,000, 40,000, you just take your 30, 40,000. If you do that, you will be putting yourself in fire. So I'm urging Dominicans who are building, keep your money in your hands and let them give you the estimate and go and buy your material yourself and always have somebody on the project who look out for you because some of them making you buy 30 sheets of galvanized, whereas the 20 sheets of galvanized the house taken and the rest going. So my father was building and I worked with my father through thick and thin and I could tell you what was happening. And because we were there for our father, his children was on the project that they didn't carry and nail and go. But too many times contractors and builders are doing that. Not all of them not, but they know themselves. They have to stop it because the sacrifice people making to put a shelter over their head.
Thank you, Copel. Let's take a voice note or two and then
we have a plumber. He making you pay him. Plus pay him to do the job. Pay him to buy the materials. When you ask him for your receipt and your change, he's not giving it to you, and all he's telling you is take him to court. He's from the south of Dominica, a plumber that's doing that.
Well, contractors, plumbers, electricians, you're being exposed, so be careful, huh?
Should not even have been allowed to go that far. It's not nice that the guy, I understand what he's saying, but to be talking about violence like that on the phone, on the air, that is not kosher at all. I understand the frustration, but I don't think you should have allowed that call to go that far.
On the telephone, hello, talk to me, 203, yeah? Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Yes. Matt is I just came in, but I heard about Carlton's story. Matt is the same thing that is happening to us. And my sister had gave money to a builder to build something for her home, to renovate the roof. And the roof is the same way. He never paid her back, and she's overseas, and up till now, she cannot come in her house. And this is in Marigot. So if you're happy they are doing, especially if you're a woman, they take advantage of you. They shouldn't do that to anybody.
Okay. Concern Marigot in there, huh? Yes.
Matt, I'm listening to Carlton, and everybody tell him what to do after the fact. He still don't have his money. I think he took a bit too long to file a court case, but it's not too late. I'm not sure. It hasn't been a year, 2 years. He still can file a case in the court, and when he is successful, he take and put a lien on any property that this guy has. Find out who it is, whatever. He could have a lawyer, do the search, whatever, and he'll get his money one way or the other. Because people like them make you have to have a real ugly side of you come out. Because I've had to deal with that myself. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to give you in detail how ugly I got, but I got my money. Okay? Sometimes some people make you act like a real pack ape somewhere like you're in the jungle. But anyway, here's a problem. This is not a problem only in Dominica. I keep hearing people talk about Dominica. This is a problem everywhere you go, where people spending money and working on their house, whatever. It's global. Thank you.
Something good.
Fantastic news from Eaststar Trading Limited, presenting yet another top quality, unbeatably priced product brought in especially for you. Just received world-class Cleo brand canned tuna in chunks and flakes, available in sunflower oil and brine. Prices start as low as $2.95 per can. Yes, you heard right. Cleo brand canned tuna, perfect for delicious dishes at home, in restaurants and hotels. Shop and save today on world-class Cleo brand tuna, available at Eaststar Trading Limited. Eaststar Trading Limited, working hard every day to make a difference for you.
Back to the telephone. We're going to be wrapping up the conversation in a little while. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, you see what's coming out of all this?
Uh-huh.
That it is a highly unregulated industry. One should be able to go to the Ministry of Housing and inquire, can I be recommended a roofer, someone who does roofs? Can I be recommended a mason, a carpenter, a builder, a contractor? And all those guys ought to be licensed and regulated. So Carlton and I, for the last 20, 30 years, we have been operating it in a very highly unregulated industry. No one is licensed. No one is regulated. But I have learned my lesson. I buy my materials for you. You give me a list of the materials. And you don't even get, you see that word they call contingency fee? They must replace that word contingency with the word theft. Because that is grand theft contingency. You never see that again. It goes down the drain. And you give your first quarter.
So you've had your experience, Peter. You've had experience, yes?
I am telling you, Matt. I'm telling you, for the last 30 years, I built a little pui there in Bass Road, and I bought all my materials, and I paid you in every section, every term that you put in your claim, and the engineer signed, and that was it. I think Carlton has to take some sort of negligence on his part also, because I know quite a number of fantastic kitchen cupboard, wardrobe builders. You really have to do your homework properly. And you do it on site at my home, at my place, But I did have a few guys who did kitchen cupboards, and I was scared, but they did it at their home, and they brought it across.
Right.
Installed it, and I was satisfied. And they did a fantastic job. You really have to do your homework in this industry. Take care, bro.
Take care, Peter. Thank you very much. And now we have dealt with the unethical contractors. We can move forward before we take it. Let's just take our final call on this subject and we move forward, okay? Hello, our final call. Yes.
Hi, Matt. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
I understand, Carlton, with the situation. But there are some people that you're working for. You give them a price to do some work for them. They find you are too expensive. You are a professional. They would go for someone, a mature person, to do the job for them, half of or less than what you charge them. And when they get messed up, then they're coming back to you and tell you, look, I should have given you the job, because you should have messed up my job. Many of the things are happening in Dominica. I'm a contractor. I'm talking to you by experience. And people must be careful of what they're doing and who they're giving their job. Many people is claiming to be cabinet builders, electricians, and they do not know what they are about. So people must be careful when they're going along and giving people their job. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Another caller, we're trying to squeeze in there. Hello, yes. Uh-huh.
Good afternoon, Matt Perry. How are you?
How are you doing? I'm happy you're the final caller. How are you doing?
Yeah. Matt, I'm listening to the conversation. I'm at home just smiling, really smiling. I like the term that Peter Karam used. It's an unregulated industry. And that is true. When people talk about consumer protection, they only think of rice, sugar, and butter. But there is need for consumer protection in that industry. But the issues are much more complicated than what have been presented there. In fact, you find that in Dominica, it's common all over the world. Construction industry has a lot of corruption, a situation where people are untrustworthy, etc. But in Dominica, from my experience, you have some serious issues there where some people do a penny wise and pound foolish, meaning that they want to build a home, they want work done on their building, but they want to pay the minimum price. So therefore, the level of consultation they need to do with people that can advise them going on that matter, they do not want to pay for the services. So for example, somebody has a house to build, they will not go and get cost estimates, bills of quantities, because if they ask for it, they will not go to an experienced person or qualified person to do it. Instead, they give it to the builder who is not competent to do the work, to give them a price because they do not want to pay for a professional. The builder look at it, give them a price to get the job. And when they get the job, as they proceed, they knew many times that the amount they charge will not complete the work, but they proceeding along those lines. So as the work continues, they asking and say, well, it's not enough to do this and that. And many times they don't have a proper contract. So you find in the construction industry in Dominica, particularly, you find when problem comes, it's really normally it's friends. My friend, I'm giving it to build, might give it to them to build. And as a result, when the reality hits them, they begin to find that by the time the project finishes, they are enemies. So it's a very complicated situation. It's also a situation where some persons want to go over their budget to do things. And then they expect the builder, because the builder is my friend or the builder building cheap, they will give them the job just to find that, yes, you'll build the basic structure, but when it comes to finishes, either the quality is bad and so on and so forth. So to cut off the issue short, as I said, it's very complicated. That one, there is unregulated. Two, there is dishonesty and corruption. And three, most importantly, there are too many people who want to build, who want work done in the industry, who are penny wise and pound foolish, meaning that they do not want to pay for the service that they require to ensure that their project will be properly completed and within reasonable price. That, given your time, that's most I can say for now.
Thank you. Mr. Isaac Baptist himself, a professional in the business. They're giving some good advice. We're going to come back, Dominique, and of course, we're going to come back and continue the issue we had this morning as it relates to rubbish all over the place. Stick around. Yes. The issue of the place, everybody was talking about it. This voice note went viral.
Because, yes, so we are garbage plaguing the Brighton crimination. Brighton crimination under pressure, under rubbish pressure. You check it. Brighton, the headquarters of the Brighton Crimi, can't see a rubbish truck yet. You know, what almost about 3 weeks, so you can't see a rubbish truck. Rubbish all over the place. I want to call on the people. Remember, a strike is unnecessarily man that stand over a plaque and those are cushion on his strike. Yeah, those don't affect nobody. When you're striking, you have to strike to affect people. Get together with your friend, your neighbor. Be it all seen eye to eye, losing eye to eye. Get trucks. You check it, and 3 o'clock in the morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just get all the garbage and just heap up all the garbage and just dump them in the main entries and the main exits on the main road. Don't go and feed that road and throw rubbish, you know, to say you're blocking the road for one garden, man, you know. The strike doesn't affect people, it's not a striking. You check it. Nobody has to stand up in no placard, just block those roads with rubbish. Don't go and throw it in no valley, because now you'll be littering. You check it, throw it on the road, somebody must clean tomorrow. Just block the whole place with rubbish. And so the people are crying about, or that will cry and talk about tourism and people seeing that. And no, these rubbish already seen it in the nation. Discrimination. Rubbish all over the place. People are smelling. You check it, the crimination, it's smelling. It's smelling. The criminal headquarters, it's smelling. Can't see a rubbish truck yet. All around in the country, and 2 rubbish truck. The Prime Minister, constituency have a young man with a rubbish truck. But they cannot even go to him and rent it to say, well, let me rent it for a little time as the rubbish truck down. Because they're owing him too much money. People from his community know who I'm talking about. You check it. They're owing him too much money, so they cannot say to him, let me go and rent it and clean up the place. The place smelling. Garbage that are running the country, so the country must full of garbage. Come together, put your people together. Yeah, and just gather rubbish and just throw rubbish in the middle of the road. Just block those road with garbage in the middle of the road. Make sure it's in the main entries, not no kind of little road on the side for man to can go around and go in the next road. No, block the place. Yeah, if it's airport, they have to block. If it's seaport, they have to block. Wherever have to block, let's block the place. Make sure you block up the place with rubbish. It must affect people. A strike that doesn't affect people doesn't make sense. You check it, the Brighton crimination being plagued by garbage. You check it. I mean, the country across some garbage, and to the people that will say, well, yeah, we have to pay for collection because they do that. They do that to see someone in trouble go down again. Some people talk about other country, people paying for this and paying for that. Yeah, but other country paying. The country paying money, people can afford that. Cost of living might be high, but people getting paid properly to can live in the high cost of living. I mean, they put the charge, I'll pay my money. I cost my easy, I'll pay my money. But we need to come together. Yeah, discrimination. Let's heap up the rubbish in the nation and just pile it up and just dump it in the middle of this road. Yeah, make them get the message. Too much passport selling in the country, but the country be running onto rubbish truck. You check the passport, never go where it was supposed to go. Right now, passport stop sell, but all the dollar go. All the dollar come from it go. So the rubbish truck cannot buy. So when rubbish truck down, it's just leave money rubbish at the home. When instead your home smell, let me give you a secret. Don't make your home smell. Make the road smell. Dump all the rubbish in the road. Yeah, it must get the attention it need. Brighton crimination, plagued by rubbish. It's smelling.
And of course, we heard the man in charge of solid waste speaking of some solutions going forward. Mr. Florian Micha. Sorry about that.
What is going on as we speak? Can you bring us up to date on your delaying services to the general public?
At the moment, Mr. Mafia, we're experiencing a delay with collection services in certain parts of the island. This is mainly due to fleet maintenance, fleet breakdown. Over the weekend, we had major success in releasing the truck that is required to conduct services in the north of the island. Through the week, that area would be normalized, and then over the weekend, this truck would be assigned to the northeastern part of the island, the southeastern part of the island, basically the Good Hope Lapland area. During this weekend, will be in the area. As we speak this morning, we are working on another truck. By 12 a.m., that truck should be up. So we'll see some work being done on the west coast, and again, the eastern part of the island, based on our projection, will be in that area over the weekend. The west and the south part of the island, as the days unfold, we'll be having normalized collection within those areas. But Mr. Mafido, let me just interject there a bit. We've been advocating waste separation at source for a very long time. And those elements should be adopted by the general public. So, for example, when we have issues of delay, if we were to remove our organic content from our waste stream, basically, this is what that would rot, this is what would cause a smell, and those items can be composted because they are organic by nature. The corporation has employed for the longest while a recycling collection system. We have a vehicle that is designated to collect glass, plastic, cans. These are the other elements of yours. And we again want to appeal to the public to separate at source. If you're able to separate at source, the volume of waste that you have to deal with, it is minimal. The smell that you may feel uncomfortable, if you compost, you're not going to have that material. And so those are some of the things that we are employing the public to take heed to. Again, Mr. Matthew, in the context of waste management, the cost is a significant element where waste management is concerned. And we must give kudos to the government of Dominica. I mean, all the equipment that you see we have, the trucks for refuse collection, excavators on the landfill, crane trucks for removal of derelict vehicles, all of those equipment has been provided from support for the state. But in the pursuit of discharge of our integrated waste management services, cost is a very critical element. And what we have seen in our region, the polluter pay principle needs to be adopted. You and I, Mr. Matthew, we consume waste, we put waste out, and in a system that considers the polluter pay responsibility, the beneficiaries ought to contribute to maintain the services that we receive.
How, Mr. Mitchell, are these people going to contribute? What exactly are you asking them to do?
Okay, so as I was saying, in Barbados, in St. Vincent, in Grenada, other parts of the OECS and CARICOM has adopted those models, whereby through a utility, the end users is levied a fee. And most times we hear people say we pay fees at the port. All the jurisdiction that I've mentioned, all the levy structure within the OECS, they are the same. Yet still in the pursuit of improving the waste management service, St. Vincent, Grenada, Barbados has implemented a fee levied on the water, some on your electricity consumption, and that is to improve the service that we benefit for the last 20 odd years since the waste management services has been commissioned at the Focus Sanitary Landfill. But that is a critical element, Mr. Matthew, that needs to be conceptualized and implemented.
But who Mr. Mitchell, who is going to implement that fee structure you spoke about?
So the Ministry of Environment, whose the waste management portfolio resides within, we've been having those discussions. This is to be brought up to the Ministry of Finance and then fully adopted. But we want the public to be mindful of those things. That waste management services, it's a very costly venture, extremely costly, and especially with our mountain. I mean, earlier on, I think as I was speaking of the Kalinago work for mountainous, we all know that Dominica is a very mountainous island, and having to transport waste throughout our communities, it is taxing on the trucks. And in that way, we need to have a more sustained financing mechanism that would allow us for more sustained waste management services on the island.
Finally, before we leave, you've been discussing that fee matter with the Ministry for Environment. What is the feedback coming from the Ministry of the Environment?
The feedback has been positive. It's just for formal approval and then implementation. And then we have also submitted a plan. The issue is not to just get money, but to improve on these current services. So you would have a short, medium, and long-term plan that the money will go back into upgrading the system and improving on the continuity of our services.
All right, Dominica, it's already 2:26. Yes, rubbish, and more rubbish. How are we going to deal with this? Of course, Mr. Mitchell says maybe soon. I say maybe we'll have to start paying for rubbish in this beautiful island of ours. Will you pay that fee? 2:26 is the afternoon time. Get ready for another fee, huh? The Wasco just increased. Digicel. Domlec. Somebody said, man, this is so painful. What the hell this guy is talking about? Somebody says, how is the new model going to tie in with the environmental levy already pending, paid at the port? I said that this morning. There's already an environmental levy that is scheduled to go to the solid waste. What is happening to that money? Who's responsible? When you said already that money would take care of all the problems at solid waste. So many cars that come into Dominica and you charge environmental levy. What's going on with that money? I asked a question a long time ago. Hello, now a new levy? On the telephone, good afternoon to you, yes?
Good morning. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
Let me ask you a question. I heard you tried to address it this morning. We had an environmental levy.
Yes, I said that this morning.
Right. Have you considered the number of vehicles that are on the road, and every one of them is paying at least $3,000 for environmental levy?
We said it many times, and that's a long time
So
ago.
the question I have, what are they doing with that money?
I just asked the question, my brother. 20 years.
What are they doing? No, honestly, that this is serious. You know. What are they? You see, I'll tell you something that we Dominicans need to understand. It's like Florian Michel was sent to test the water to see if it will go down. So Dominicans, the most I can tell you, let us put the resistance. Because if nobody speaks, trust me, it will happen. You remember the Wasco?
Mm-hmm.
When the question was asking at a press conference, and the Prime Minister said, I don't think that will be much. Maybe $2. If you remember well, if you go back to the press conference when that question was asked, I don't think it will be much. I don't think it will be hurting the Dominicans. But people make businesses. They have to find their $800 fees to put on their bill. You understand what I'm telling you?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, come on. Let us, I can only encourage Americans, we must put on the pressure. Because I don't think we can do that. Honestly, I don't think we can add anything to what we have already been paid.
So again, to your question, sir, what is going on with that environmental levy? Who's collecting that? We need some transparency. Yes, accountability. Who's collecting?
I'll tell you. Let me tell you who's collecting. You know what is happening in Dominica? We are not producing. We are not producing. Now, if you are not producing, it means that you are nothing's coming in. Nothing's coming in. I had an opportunity, and you see me personally right now, I decide to speak. I had an opportunity to attend a debt consultation not too long ago, right? Not too long ago, a debt consultation. Tell them they can come for me, no problem. A debt consultation. And in that debt consultation, one of the questions that I asked a policy developer of the Caribbean Development Bank is whether, based on what he said, as far as debt crisis, remember, 6 in the world, 3 in the Caribbean. So I asked him, let me ask you a question. I would like you to go back on the IMF. He said, ask the Prime Minister whether he met with the IMF in the last few months. That was the question he asked us. Ask the Prime Minister whether he met with the IMF. Because every country that had a program with the IMF invited them to another program. So you see when you see that DOASCO bill come up, that was not just their leaking. You understand? These are some recommendations from the IMF. You understand? I also told him, because one of the things that he said is agriculture continues to be the backbone of our economy. Now, if agriculture is our backbone, it's the backbone of our economy. I asked him, or I told him rather, that I can go back and I can look at it. We have at least $300 million spent on hotel development on enough. I say you can come to the West and you can see that we have about $100 million spent on the West. I went as far as the South and I say 75 because I know about the 75. I know about the 75.
Okay.
I know about the 75. So I said 75 million and I did not even go in the valley. So it's about 475 million being invested from CDI in hotel development. And I told him, do you know that we have not had at least 150 million invested in agriculture? 150. You know, I'm telling you, 150. About 100 US. 100,000 US in those developments, hotel development. You understand what I'm telling you? So this is where we are. This is where we are. Bro, let me tell you, we in some trouble, you know. We're in some trouble and people need to, all I can tell them, brace up. All I can say, brace up.
Tie your waist.
Tie your waist. Mario. So the question is, according to you, where that environmental levy go in? But I'll tell you what, most of those monies, and you see all those monies them are not using when budget call.
Yep.
My brother, they're going to have to pay salary. I tell you that. I believe in that going to have to pay salary. So they come on a special legal project, and blah, 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 blah. They're taking that money on that special project, and those things going to have to pay salaries. Let me tell you, we're in serious trouble. The same guy told us, the same policy developer for the Caribbean Development Bank, he told me, you know, he said giving us 2 years and see what will happen. So we can wait there. We can wait there and so on and play all kind of, that's why they're playing nobody but party politics. It's better than what I'm talking about. Bro, it is somewhat tough. It is somewhat tough, and Dominicans need to make up their mind what they want to do. What they want to do. You get an apartment, you cannot pay your lights, you cannot pay water, but you hide in a little hole because you don't know nobody to see you. You have an NEP job, you cannot get paid, but you have to go to work because this is all you have. If you go, they'll fire you because this is all you have. But bro, come on. How can we live like that? Anyway.
All right, caller, thank you for your contribution. The question is, what is being done? What has been done with all the environmental tax that have been spent or have been paid? Where's the accountability? Good afternoon to you, Matt. What is there to compliment the government about? For turning the nature island into a rubbish dump? Rubbish paradise? This Mitchell person is the perfect person for the job. He's in it because he keeps spewing rubbish and doing nothing about it. The numbers to call again are 449-3095-96 and 97. Matt Scarrett told his supporters that out of the $1,000 they can save $200. So they can now save $200 less DOASCO increase. And now solid waste levy. So now you can probably save $25 and not $200. Well, except if you're a fisherman making $45,000 a day, huh? On the telephone, 236, talk to me. Yes?
But Matt, I have to call on the subject. Because Matt, recently there were a situation where the road them too good, not good in Tortola, and the premier came on and said, I've heard the cry of the people. But then the premier said not saying nothing at all. So Matt, I want to ask you, I have a lot of questions to ask you, but let me ask you, Matt, how things going in Dominica? Yesterday I heard you saying that it came back to the question I used to ask, whether he'll accept defeat. Matt, it seems that he will never accept defeat, because he doesn't care what people say. He don't say nothing. He just sit in his seat and say, talk as only one man. I just take the election. I'm asking if that he's telling himself. So check for me, Matt. When you go to a press conference, ask him for me, please. But he don't care. That's strange, Matt.
All right, caller, thank you. Matt, this is like squeezing blood out of stone. These individuals are expecting the people to struggle, the struggling people to put food on their table and now to pay for incompetence. No amount of fees collected will improve this trash problem. If they fail to maintain these rubbish pickup trucks, how much more of this crap is the people willing to take? It's a question you have to answer. Somebody said, man, I run a small business and they add in more and more, huh? And these people will go all out to tax everything they can. This is just deliberate. Tax and more tax. You're right, Dominicans would be very productive if everybody could buy a boat and go and fish, and make $45,000. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? How you doing? What's that? Hello? Hello? You're gone. I didn't hear your comment, though. We're going to come back after this.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner,
and businessman. Protect your property, insure your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Personne pas s'attirer pour dire nous. But if they could, they would say something like this. I like Linhurst Vep Ladu. They must tell my content. My family brought me to Linhurst after I died. And the way Linhurst took care of my body with respect and dignity, ma jamais tapé kate ouais spécial à l'émoté vivant. Linhurst Funeral Home. 30 years of experience, professional, reliable and compassionate service. We've had 24-hour emergency service. So là, mon numéro, pas quitter un rien bas ou dire. Qui est 449-1800, 275-7564, 449-2100, or the emergency number 277-1800. If I keep it busy, Linus, that time is for you to breathe and grieve. Linus is not willing that any should die, but Bobot, Zandra, you must go. So when you go with the best chaperone, Linus Funeral Home. Mama Tutu family, si c'est pas Linus, il a fini à l'été.
Our numbers are 449-1800, 449-2100, 275-7564, and 276-0400. Call Linhurst Funeral Home today.
It's 2:41. Let's continue the conversation here on the telephone. Hello, yes?
Yes, Matt.
Yes, sir.
This administration, they signed a treaty with the Dominican people. You know what that treaty means when you sign a treaty with another country?
Mm-hmm.
Matt, that's where all the funds go. Talk, take, and travel. Thank you very much.
Well, like just in the last news conference, as you said that there, the Prime Minister said he's going to cut down on all the travel that's taking place there within the government circles. At a news conference, in the next news conference, I'm sure this is going to come up. Have we seen ministers of government traveling less since that statement was made? It gets tough. It's really tough in this country. Matt, I'm so glad I'm not in business again. Business in DA is trash now for small man. Suffocation again and again. But someday soon there will be calm. Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Yes?
Mato, if I have to go to the toilet, what institution I should report for to tax me?
To tax you, if you're using the Dowasco line, you have to, you go to Dowasco and pay that bill.
But the tax you already?
They'll pay you for sewage. They'll tax you for sewage if you're using that line.
Man, I swear at one time the Chinese embassy, the diplomats had said the Chinese government do not take part in financing any international airport. You were the one that interviewed them. Just check my memory.
No, and that's in fact true. Yes, the Chinese businesses, they're private businesses within China, but in terms of the government, that is how we responded. The Chinese contractors who may get involved. I'm sure the Chinese will have some influence on that. But in terms of the government, he did say there was no government involvement, but private sector. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Mr. Pelton, blessings to you, sir.
Blessings to you, sir. Blessings.
Now, two things I clearly understand from Mr. Mitchell is giving the government praise for the excavator and the caterpillar and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And a fee. Everything else was just pure gibberish or maybe Latin or Greek or something else he was speaking, Matt, because talking about the terrain and it's not easy for those trucks. Matt, I was saying that this morning. You have a landfill in the north, a landfill in the east, a landfill in the south, and remove that landfill direct over a port of call where tourists is coming in, Matt. Bring it further inland, Matt. And you cut your troubles in 3/4, Matt, not just enough. And Matt, is the implementation of the value added, how they call it, the importation tax, how they call it again, Matt? The environmental levy.
Environmental levy, yes.
The year it was implemented, when money start being collected to know how much money all you have accumulated, and a breakdown on what that money has been used to do. No. What the hell is not your dumb business? No law, no constitution blessings. Triple blessings. So Lela Langford cannot ask questions again. And Matt, really, you need to take that man serious. Caesar, can one of all you, Matt, if not you, put it on another journalist that might be ready to take a slap or another triple? Mr. Skerritt, are you really willing to see Dominicans kill each other over electoral reform, or will you be willing to see, well, your removal bring about blood in Dominica? What is your agenda?
But the question, a simple question would be, are you prepared to listen to the people? That's it.
Well, what are you talking about, listen to the people? You have never listened to anybody. I'm talking about, are you willing to see blood in Dominica based on no electoral reform or proper electoral reform? I'll be so blunt with him. You're being a journalist and being diplomatic and respectful and all of that. I'm just saying that with that solid waste business.
Yes.
Not Dominicans, their heads are too damn hard. Everybody are preoccupied reading my void. And they does not understand the void, the emptiness, into their awareness of what is actually and physically happening in Dominica, Matt. You have a cluster of criminals that passes for government, Matt, and different institutions within the state, Matt, that are ripping, robbing, plundering, raping, brutalizing. Matt, you remember racketeering in the what commission, Matt, in what again? Racketeering
in the labor division.
In the labor division, not every division, every institution within the structure of government is criminal activities. I got to say it's criminals that run in them, but I take in that back for the sake of Q95. I don't know if going to break my neck. It's criminal activities that are taking place, Matt. And Dominicans need to wake up to the realization, to hell with UWP, to hell with Labour Party. I for my country. And in the best interest of my country, anybody that can stand for that, I support in them. Thank you, sir.
The question, and Blessing just mentioned it. What has been done with all the environmental money? Where is the accountability? Where is the transparency? How much money has been collected over the years, the past 20 years? Somebody saying this is why most Dominicans hate being fooled by the Prime Minister. He's always been saying his government has not issued not one tax upon the nationals, in spite of our difficulties, because we're not hearing the word tax mentioned. We accept his statement. But all these rises there, bills, levies upon us. These are all taxes, huh? They are increasing all your salaries with taxpayers, the poor people. They're not increasing their salaries at all. On the telephone, hello, talk to me, yes?
Matt, we should have plenty money by now, Matt.
Plenty money.
The levy was put there since in the time of United Workers' Party that put that have that there. They put it there for a reason. But Starboy has stupidity, no. What he taking the money to do? And Mr. Florian should ask him, what about all the money that has been collected all that time? What happening? You both giving you a caterpillar, and he giving you a this, and he giving you a that. You should have plenty more than that, Mr. Florian. Come on.
Okay, Blue. Thank you very much. 44930. A simple question. What have you done with all the environmental levy that has been collected over the past 20 years for solid waste? Hello, talk to me, yes?
Yes. Matt.
Yes, I'm here.
Matt, this is Presley without a dent. Let me tell you something I find when I went to Dominica. 2 times I visit Dominica since I'm in America. So I go home, I don't know, but we always get rid of our garbage. We dig a hole, we put it there, and when it's all full, we burn it. When I get my mother tell me, she have to put out garbage today. I say, what? Garbage to go away? He say, they're taking garbage from Marigot and bring Rose. I never see that in my life, no? You know that?
I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you. Yes, I am.
Yes, I'm saying that, you're taking garbage from the country, La Plain, everywhere, and you're bringing it in Roseau. To me, that is just, according to the Prime Minister, that is bullshit. All
right. It's more suffering taking place, man. Every time I play this song, I understand what Dominicans are going through at this time. You actually feel the song, We have 9 more minutes to go.
I'm suffering. I'm suffering. Though I care for a man to do, a man to do, a man to do. Though I care for a man to do, a man either way.
But you know something? I don't think Dominicans will ever learn. These guys, and the cohorts, man, don't care about the people. They don't care about the island. They care about a few projects just to hold the people hostage, make them think they're doing something. Other than that, they don't care. Really, the country has been sold behind the people's back. And I don't think the people realize that. Matt, I'm listening.
Gone to hell. Establishment all gone to hell.
Hello on the telephone, yes? Hello.
Hello, Papa. Matt, I was just thinking that our queen has to be coming to this airport and to see all this garbage on the road and our other returning Dominicans. What will they think of us? And strangers alike. It's a shame, Matt. We've got to do much better than that. Thank you.
Our golden queen, huh? Pia Lafont. Coming on Sunday, huh? Somebody's explaining again the environmental levies on vehicles that are 5 years and older. And we have surpassed 3,000 for sure. $2,000 times 3,000 is already 6 million. So that's a lot of money. Imagine multiplying that by all the license plates. Active ones, huh? Or just the PA plate. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
And you notice, Matt, even cars that is coming in is under agriculture.
A lot of them are coming in there, yes. FA, a lot of them FA.
Hey, a farmer.
FA for farming, yes. A lot of people have turned farmers these days, huh? This one from Shadow called Poverty's Out. Hello, talk to me, yes? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Matt.
I'm here.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I heard the chap was saying about the people should use their feeling and so on, and as what? Use your feeling and use them in the garden, in the thing. But a lot of people do speak only in the apartments and burn what people we have and do what you have. If we ever do that, next time we might find more far. The people hang out in the apartment, hang out no backyard garden, they hang out nothing.
No.
Where they going to put it in? And you can think of the countryside and so on. And say, well, people can in the countryside, but you must speak. You must speak for Dominica. You can only speak for those people. And then when you speak on there's all the people in the country can do the same thing. At the same time, you may have more, but you may have more fires too, because if you go burning their people and so on, you may have more fires in the area. You understand? So, I mean, the point about it, they have to be very careful. And then they had the $100. I think they put the vehicle to pay $100. Wasn't that a levy at one time? Additional, apart from your license. Wasn't that an extra $100 for
road maintenance? Yes.
All that was the thing. So, I mean, I don't understand what is happening in terms of we just sit down and say, let us speak and do this. Yes. Some time ago, Matt, some months ago, I think, sometime early this year or late last year, I did call and tell you about people in our area, Calbishi. They may have to pay a certain amount of money for dumping rubbish. And I told you there's a precedent that going to happen. That's common events cast some shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can remember that. I mentioned that to you when I said that.
I remember that.
And it will appear now, it was a trial. Other than a trial they're doing. I think somewhere in the East had done something like either run for somewhere. And they didn't call the sheep. While it is true that we understand, we didn't know how long it will last. You know? There are some business people who may have their rubbish, like supplying food. They could not leave it there for a while. What they were doing is a trial to go through and also pay for that later on. You see what I mean? So we have to be very mindful about the entire thing. When they do things, it's just trials they're doing for to ensure that.
It's a common events cast their shadows, huh?
Yeah, common event cast their shadows. That's the beginning of it. It's more tax and tax and tax and tax and tax and tax. But as I said earlier on, the union cannot say anything. The lawyer doctors, some of them are not saying anything. We just sit down and they even force the ordinary man to cry about it. What about them? If they're saying something, it's a hoax, It's a hoax already, but they're not saying anything. They're just there and quietly waiting, and then they're going to radio and listen who's speaking on their behalf, but they're not saying anything. I watched the DNC convention, and I saw the unions are still supporting the Democrats and so on. They came out loud and clear supporting Democrats. But we don't hear nobody saying anything, no union saying, well, this is not fair to us. And so many years, nobody getting salary and so on. It's a bad thing. Anyhow, God guide us.
God guide us. God guide us. Somebody saying Scary needs to rescind the increase given to the pile wraps and also the $64,000 for its rental. The environmental levy isn't only on vehicles, huh?
Where everything is nice and clean.
Poverty's out.
Nothing when it hot. Children are hungry, nothing in the pot. We gone by the neighbor to beg for some.
And also we wrap it up here on Thursday.
We gone in the it shot area to beg. A police put a bullet in the tin when he leg. He gone in the courts and he lost the case. The prosecutor say he have a bandit face. Poverty is there. Poverty is there. Don't you know?
We'll be back tomorrow, same time, next year. Flow Dominica.
Wake up in the morning and the baby cry. The sugar pan empty, the milk bottle dry. The little boy child on the mango tree.
Somebody said only recently I saw a PA on a motorbike. Huh?
Falling, she wouldn't settle. She whine, she bums, she wet, spinning at the toilet paper. They never had, they used to do in the gully by the old back. They rub she down and they put she to sleep. But the rain come down and the house asleep. Poverty is there. Poverty is there. Get the music now. Yeah. A poor man always dream a lot of dreams. He happy like a puppy when he dream another dream. He dream that he have a new roof on the hut. He dream that he have some good food in the pot. He dream that he have a rich friend named Frank. He dream that he have a lot of cash in the bank. He dream that he pay all his bills for the man. He dream that he have a new car in the front. He dream that he have to go to a fair. He dream that his pocket have a big fat wallet. He wake up in the night and he rush for his pants. All he found in the pocket, a whole lot of ass. Poverty is there. Poverty is there. Now. Then little children for dumpling. Mommy got to slice them 10. A piece for a boy and a piece for a girl. A piece for the neighbor daughter moon. You know the cat in the corner looking the best. Little corner kick him in the leg. Go in the room and look for a rat. The rat in the roof, we know about that. Now the cat see a chicky chong, yeah. He rush for the chicky chong. But the poor little chicky chong flew away like a chicky chong. And then cockroach gone in the condensed milk. Mama get vexed for the condensed milk.
Pawe pou mene servis ba ou. Nou te promet ou. Inovasyon ebe nou ka delivre a prezan. Boutique Flow Asi Wool. Pawe pou mene ba ou bon kalite servis ebe